This guy makes $300,000 a month reselling sneakers, and he started at just 15 years old.
I had shoeboxes stacked up to the ceiling in the hallway of my mom's house.
But where do all these shoes come from, and who's buying them?
I buy and sell 1,000 shoes a week, and it's growing. I had to open up my own shop just to keep up with demand.
How much money does somebody need to start this business?
I bought my first pair for $100. Every dollar I made went right back into the business.
And is sneaker reselling still alive and well in 2026?
The old rules don't work anymore. The key to making money now is
I'm here to find out how a bedroom reseller scaled to $300,000 a month and how you can apply the same playbook in your own business. All right, it's incredible you're doing $300K a month selling shoes. But before we get into the business model and how you operate, take us back to day one. How did this all start and begin?
So I've been an entrepreneur since day one. Started in school just selling candy, then I progressed to gum, and then I started learning how to make duct tape wallets and just trying to make a little money off that. And then eventually when I went to high school, I saw that everybody was wearing Jordans, and I was like, damn, like that's so sick. How do I get some cool shoes? So I looked on eBay, found a pair of shoes, bought it. It was a Jordan 5 Independence Day, my first ever shoe. And I realized, oh man, I can make 20 bucks on this. And as a 15-year-old, it was like, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I went and I tried to sell it, made my first $20, and from there, one pair turned to 100 pairs turned to 1,000.
I can hear the hunger, you know, the willingness to do whatever it takes to keep going. Give us a little insight. Where are we at? I know this is your storefront.
So we're here in Canoga Park, California. This is Sneaker Hustle. We've been here almost 4 years now. And yeah, little by little, we've been growing.
All right, let's take a look inside. All right, been here for 4 years.
Yep.
People are wondering, what does it take to run a place like this? What's the rent on this thing in Los Angeles?
Yeah, so we got really blessed with a good deal. We're paying about $3,000 a month, which is
not bad.
Amazing, yeah.
How many square feet are we working with?
So it's about 1,200 square feet.
Do you feel like you're crammed a little?
We're super cramped.
Are you?
We're right now trying to figure out how we can expand and definitely take it up a notch because we have absolutely no room. As you can see, it's kind of like a warehouse on this side. So we definitely want to kind of make the store look nicer, and then the online side of the business kind of put it in another space.
So walk us through why you decided to open up a physical location in the first place, because you didn't have to.
First thing was I ran out of space. It was either a warehouse or a store. And I thought the store was a better opportunity because it gives you like a legitimacy to your name. You know, people trust you more because they know you have a brick and mortar storefront compared to where you're just an online guy. It's a little like scarier to purchase from something like that. And then just being able to connect more with the community is really a big part of what I wanted to do.
How big was your inventory then when you first started as compared to now?
Yeah, so we started with only about 300 to 400 pairs of shoes. And now we're about 1,200 shoes, and we're constantly in and out about 1,000 shoes a week.
Wow. This begs the question, can somebody then make a living, right, decent income as a sneaker reseller without actually having a storefront?
100%, I believe you can. That's how I started. It's just way more challenging now. You have to really diversify. You have to post on many platforms. You have to really build a name.
So no storefront, I get into this industry. What's a realistic income that I could expect, you know, if I hustle and put the effort in?
Yeah, I mean, I would say it depends how much money you have to start. Let's say you start with $200, right? You start with $200, you're really hustling, you're trying to find some deals. I think you can make $200 turn into $250 by the end of the week easily. Obviously, the more capital you have, the more you can flip it, the more shoes you can buy. You just got to keep reinvesting in your business. That's the biggest part.
All right, on average, what does a typical in-store customer spend?
But I'd say on average, people spend $200 to $300, but we do have shoes that are over $1,000 also.
Are you able to upsell in any way? Like a cleaning, a warranty, I don't know, speaking from a guy who doesn't fully know the industry, or just a sneaker and you're done? I mean, obvious can be.
Definitely, like with worn pre-owned shoes, we're able to clean the bottoms, clean their shoes, and make the value a bit more. So that definitely helps. Other than that, if it's a brand new shoe, we try to go based off market, and we're always trying to beat the online competition, which is StockX, Go. We're trying to be a little bit under that. That's our goal.
So what pair in this store makes people walk in and say, wait, that costs this much?
Well, we have a pair that's $8,000. You want to see it?
I want to check it out.
So these are the Air Jordan 1 Dior's. They come in this beautiful box. These retailed for $2,000. There was only 8,500 pairs made. I mean, just the collab with Dior is very iconic. It's a designer brand. I mean, it's really just the name at the end of the day and how limited they are. It's pretty crazy. Most people are gonna say, I would never spend that, but someone would.
Okay. What percentage of your business comes from these high-end shoes?
Very little.
Small, right?
You know, it's very hard to sell this. This is gonna take 3 to 6 months to sell. We don't really prefer this, but you know, sometimes it's cool. It's kind of a flex for the shop. People, you know, it's eye-catching.
Yep.
And also sometimes people will come in and trade a bunch of shoes for this. We have another grail. This one is wild. These are the Nike SB Dunk Low Canaries. There's only 250 of these ever made. These are extremely rare. We have them at 6,500.
Damn, these are clean. Never worn.
Never worn, brand new.
All right, see you later. So on these expensive items, like what do you pay for it? Is your profit margin extremely thinner than the other shoes?
When we're investing so much money into a shoe, we definitely want to have a bigger margin. We paid about 6,000 for these. We're trying to sell them for 8,000. And like I said, a lot of times people just trade up for this, so we'll make even more money on a trade. But it's not a go-to inventory for sure.
I mean, if somebody's looking for this, they're gonna be looking at very specific niche places, right?
And sometimes it attracts celebrities or really high-end clients too.
How often do people walk in here and try to sell you knockoffs? How do you handle that?
Pretty much every day. It's pretty crazy. 50% of the time they don't know. A lot of people just aren't educated on what makes a shoe real or fake because, you know, sometimes the fakes are really, really good.
Have you ever bought any? And how do we tell as a rookie what's fake and what's real?
And in the beginning, yeah, 100%. I've made mistakes and it sucks because it's a loss. There's nothing you can do because you have a reputation. So if you sell a fake shoe, you're killing your reputation.
For sure.
So for us, all I had to do was take the loss, take it on the chin, and learn from it. So
what are 3 things maybe that would identify it as a fake immediately right after
So a lot of times, like I've touched so many shoes that I could tell right away from touching it. The main thing is the shape of the shoe. You get used to it, the materials, and then even the smell. Fake shoes have a very strong chemical glue smell. Not all the time, but at times they usually do.
And when we were at the thrift store, you were testing out the soles.
The materials, like squeezing them. I mean, this is a very...
So the real deal, this is like, there's no way that I'm gonna squish them. The fake one just crumbled like a cookie.
Yeah, the materials are usually a lot cheaper. So that is a big significant thing. But nowadays, the fakes are really, really good. And we even use sometimes, for more expensive shoes, we use third-party softwares. There's apps that are really good for legit checking. There's my favorite, Legit app, and shout out to them. But never rely purely on them. You have to have experience. Sometimes you have to ask other people, especially in the beginning. I would ask my colleagues.
Right.
But now, you know, I've had so many shoes, I'm pretty good at it.
For somebody who's never been inside a sneaker resale store before, tell us kind of why having a counter like this and a storefront is super important and crucial to the business.
Yeah, this is where all the deals get done. People come in with stacks of shoes. You know, I'd say on average, a customer's bringing 3 to 5 shoes, but sometimes people are bringing 50, 100 pairs here.
Whoa.
We inspect them. We always legit check them. You know, we make offers, hopefully come to an agreement, and sometimes people even trade up for their grails. So this is where all the magic happens, where all the business gets done, and where we really get a lot of inventory in.
What percentage of your inventory is strictly from walk-ins?
Since we've been growing so much, it's about 50, 60%. I've built a lot of connections now over the years where a lot of resellers would sell to us, a lot of stores even liquidate to us, and we'll cash them out. And then we also even go to sneaker events. We're able to buy hundreds of shoes that way too. And I would say a big chunk of it though is just relationships that we built where we can just buy a bulk amount of shoes from one person. But you know, the biggest thing is those relationships are usually made right here.
How do you decide which shoes to buy or not?
Yeah, so I think we're the only shop, at least in this area, that will buy any shoe. I mean, we won't buy super beaters, but we will buy any shoe. You see this bin over here?
Yeah.
So in here, you can see there are some pretty used shoes in here. These are all no-box shoes, pretty much mostly low-end stuff, but we'll still buy it for a certain amount. So most stores and most resellers, they're really looking just for what's hot. We definitely want that too. But we'll buy anything because, you know, someone will bring in 10 random Nike Air Maxes and we'll, you know, offer them store credit or cash and, you know, they'll walk away happy. We'll still buy pretty much anything.
Bring up a good point. Out of the walk-ins, what percentage walk away with a store credit as opposed to just cash in their hand? And what do you prefer?
Yeah, we definitely prefer store credit because that means, you know, they're spending their money here basically. Yeah. We don't have to add cash on top and we get rid of a product too. So that's always the goal. But I would say about 70, 80% just want cash. You know, we're here to offer that fast service, get quick cash in their pocket. And I would say 98% of people that come in, we're able to make a deal.
Do you have a system on how to make offers? Walk us through that.
Yeah, I mean, definitely we use kind of the international market that everyone checks first is StockX. We use Go, we use eBay. So let's say a shoe is brand new, $200. It's worn once, it's already gonna drop the value. We'll probably have to sell it for about $150. For us to make a margin though, we're gonna have to probably offer like $110 to $120. So we can make that $30. We're trying to make sure both parties win.
What's been the most memorable walk-in so far in all these years for you?
Yeah, so one of the most memorable moments is when Nick Cannon actually came here and he bought about 25 pairs of shoes and he was super cool, super nice. I even asked him a couple of questions. I was like, hey, how many shoes do you have? He's like, yeah, a couple thousand, super casually. And it was just such a cool encounter because he was so humble.
Guys, if you're enjoying this video, which I know you are, do us a huge favor, hit that like and subscribe button. The team hugely appreciates, and it helps us bring on more amazing guests like Elik. Thanks for doing that.
Let me take you to one of my friends who's a reseller.
Oh, nice.
And he sells to us every week. He's got 400 shoes for us. Let's go check him out.
Let's do it. All right, tell us a little bit about this relationship and how is it important to the business?
Yeah, this is one of my friends now. We do deals almost every day. His name is Mark, and he's gonna sell us right now 400 pairs.
You buying all of them?
Buying all of them.
All right, before we go say hello, leaving the store and seeing how many shoes, how much volume are you moving on a weekly, daily basis, or even on a monthly basis?
I'd say every week we're at least pushing 1,000 shoes.
So on the 1,000 that you move per week, what is the profit margin? That healthy and something you expect?
I mean, our goal is 15, 20%. It doesn't always work out that way. There's been streams where, I've sold $10,000 worth of shoes and I didn't make anything. So,
But overall, it just blends into a nice, healthy 15 to 20%.
Yeah, overall, definitely. I've had really good streams, I've had bad streams, so it's a balance.
Once you get these sneakers, right, what's the prep process, Elik? And do all of them go through that prep process?
Yeah, so one of the first things we do is we check that they're all new. We're gonna make sure there's no mismatches, not like two lefts, and then make sure there's no major flaws.
Dude, these are slick. Look at that. They even match the UpFlip logo. I like these. Elik, you're obviously doing some numbers in your head. Can you get our audience in there to understand what you're doing right now? What's in your head?
So we got what, 455 shoes
pairs,
here.
Okay.
It's a lot of pairs. Yeah, a lot of shoes. We have an average price. He started at 21 per.
21 a pair times 455. That's almost 10 G's almost.
Yeah, that's 10 G's right there and goes quick.
All right, guys, have you come to a decision?
We've been negotiating back and forth.
$100, that's the difference.
We got a $100 coin flip. Basically $100 if I win, $100 less, $100 more if he wins. I'll flip it, you call.
All right. Okay.
Throw it. See what happens.
100. Oh, you got it.
Let's go!
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Deal done.
Hey, UpFlip gave me good luck. Thank you.
So what's the price that you guys settled at? The whole thing?
So
Average is like what?
$16.80 roughly.
Okay.
And all this will be sold in probably less than a week.
No way. Elik has known since he was 15 years old and flipped his first pair of Jordans that he had a winning business idea. But he didn't go from $20 to $300,000 a month just from buying and selling sneakers. He realized what a lot of business owners learn too late, that growth doesn't just happen, it's built. Without the right setup, even great ideas can run out of steam. And that's exactly why over 1 million entrepreneurs have turned to Busy. They make it ridiculously easy to properly set up and launch new businesses. There's no hidden fees or surprise subscriptions, just one upfront cost to cover everything from compliance tracking to setting up an LLC. Built by founders for founders, Busy gives your business exactly what it needs to start strong. They'll handle the filings, compliance, and even set you up with a pro business address that lets you access your mail digitally so you can work wherever's best for you. Success without structure is like sneakers without soles. You might look the part, but you won't get far. So start smart. Click the link below and launch your new business today with Busy. For somebody new in this business, what's your advice when it comes to finding, cultivating relationships with bulk sellers?
Yeah, I mean, it's really about building those relationships. Sometimes you have to pay their price just to build that relationship, because then they're like kind of like give you a little bit of respect. They're like, all right, he paid my price the first time. Now I'm willing to haggle a little bit more. Because if you right away go up to someone, you're like, hey man, can you drop the price $100? They're gonna look at you sideways like, hey, I don't know you. So you really have to build those relationships at first. You do good for them, they'll do good for you, looking out for each other.
All right, tell us why we're standing in front of a vintage thrift store.
So we're gonna take you guys to my roots. This is how I used to source sneakers and try to find anything I can make some money on
What kind of profit can somebody expect if we go the thrift store option?
Yeah, I mean, I think you can expect from 20 to 50%. If you can clean them up, restore them, you can make even more. But, you know, we don't really do all of that. We just clean them up real quick. And we're hoping for that 20 to 40%. Well, let's see what they got.
What did it cost you to get started in this industry?
Yeah, so in this industry alone, I mean, I started with $100. I started with my first pair of shoes, you know, bought that one, made a little bit of money, bought another. Slowly my collection was growing from 1 pair to 10 to 100, and now to that over 1,000.
Amazing. So the barriers to enter into this business is almost zero.
I mean, the more capital you have, definitely the easier it is to start,
Sprint,
100%.
yeah.
But I mean, you can start with $100 for sure.
What about the cost to get the store going?
It depends your location, it depends, you know, some stores you can get them and they're already built out. My store was a complete mess. I did everything myself and with my family. Luckily, my family was able to help me, my
awesome.
friends. So we saved tens of thousands of dollars. It still costs like I would say 20 to 30,000
Really?
to build the store.
Yep.
Just to get professional walls painted, it's probably like 5,000 easily.
Yeah. So then the follow-up question would be, how long did it take you for you to make that money back?
No, I mean, I would say in the beginning, it probably took months to just break even. You know, at first too, not many people are coming in. You have to really build your name.
Yeah.
So the first, honestly, 6 months is a struggle. You know, you're trying to build a name. You know, a lot of people are testing you. You have to be ready for those challenges in the beginning for sure.
How big is your team as of today, and how big is the payroll monthly?
So we have 5 people on the team, and we're constantly looking to grow. Right now, we're about 10 to 12,000 payroll.
All right, so let's say somebody's totally new to sneaker flipping, walks into the store. What should they be looking for?
I mean, we're looking for good brands, Nike, Jordan, Adidas, Yeezys, stuff that are relevant for our shop, Asics even. We personally don't focus on certain brands like designer, but some people, that might be a niche that you could work on. For us, those are our main brands. So let's see what they got.
Yeah, I see a couple right there on the shelf.
Let's see.
I mean, it's not common that this store may have sneakers, right? But once in a while, you get something like this.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes people trade them.
Dude, it looks pretty solid.
Yeah, these 2 shoes are nice. These are clean. They got these for $30. I mean,
$50 for these?
These retail for $210. That's crazy. I mean, we could easily sell these for like 50, 60 bucks.
I mean, you're speaking too loud because the owner hears that he could sell them for 200 though.
A lot of these vintage stores, thrift stores, they have really good deals. You can't sleep on them. So Jordan 4 is one of the most popular silhouettes right now. And $50, this is an excellent deal. We're gonna sell them tonight. They're gonna fly.
Okay, let's go check it out. Literally, check it out.
All right, my guy.
What's up, Elik?
Bro, I found some good deals. You got these for a steal.
Yeah, good trade-ins.
Yeah.
Me to keep the price low.
Yes, sir. Let me get both of these, bro.
Yeah. What do I have? You had 80 for both?
Yes, sir.
30, 50?
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah, great deal. You got anything else?
Honestly, I have a few pairs that came in. Dead stock.
No way.
Pretty sure whoever brought them into me got them with Ross.
These retail $210. So this is insane. And this one's a crazy deal too.
What about those?
Hey, what are those, bro?
Elik, I was actually meaning to show you. These just came in a little bundle deal right before
way.
you guys came in. I was buying all his apparel, and the gentleman just threw them in to make the deal happen.
So I'm just gonna Google it.
Bro, I got bad news.
Suzuki RG500 Ninja.
Easily, huh?
You gotta always check your shoes. And unfortunately, this one never came out. There's no
I can't.
Suzuki release.
So we're passing on these.
We're passing on these. So that's one thing I tell beginners, always double check everything. Look, we got 4 amazing steals. You know, don't wanna buy something and get it accidentally mixed up.
Yep. All right, blitz time with Elik. You ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it. What's one sneaker you'd save in a fire?
Man, the Air Mags, they're like 20 grand. I'm running back to save those.
All right, what do you do when you're not working?
When I'm not working, I'm either training jiu-jitsu, you know, cooking for myself, trying to learn stuff, trying to like listen to podcast videos.
What's the most common rookie mistake you see?
So definitely the most common rookie mistake is not legit checking shoes, being naive and buying fakes. There's so many fakes in this game.
Have you ever bought a pair just because you were hungry, tired, or bored?
Definitely. I mean, you know, when I'm bored, I'm honestly looking where I can get sneaker deals and try to, you know, buy some more shoes.
What's one thing you want every beginner to know?
To never give up. A lot of people that they try reselling, they don't see success right away and they quit.
All right, one more. Be honest. Do you judge people by their sneakers?
Sometimes. Sometimes I do. You see some nasty shoes, you're like, damn, if they can't take care of the shoes, how's their hygiene?
Yeah, well said. That's a wrap. What marketing channels are you using right now to get new customers.
Yeah.
And new followers.
Yeah, I mean, the main thing is social media. We're posting on
Always.
TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, these short form content videos that have been really helping us gain a lot of followers and hopefully customers as well.
What are you spending on marketing per month?
Yeah, so we actually do spend on Google Ads, and I have someone that does our ads for us as well that is very costly. That's like $2,500 a month. Mainly Google, but also Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and that's about, yeah, $2,500 to $3,000 we're spending a month.
Pretty small percentage compared to the gross revenue.
Yeah, but you know, we're still learning. We haven't had that much experience, and the ads, they mature. In the future, definitely, it's probably only gonna go up.
All right, so I see your team members setting up for something. Tell us what's going on here. What are we setting up for?
So we're getting ready for a Whatnot stream. We're about to go live with you guys as our special guests.
Let's go.
We're about to sell a good 50 shoes in 30 minutes.
What makes live streaming so profitable as opposed to selling in store, in person?
So you're gonna see us run shoes at $1, and we're able to sell about, I would say, 3 to 5 shoes a minute.
Whoa.
So
that's a really solid number, I think.
Yeah, our typical stream is about 4 to 5 hours. We'll sell 300 shoes easily.
That's crazy. So it is a risk because some
Yeah.
things will sell below your cost.
Definitely, we lose.
Why do it?
It's the overall big picture. So, you know, we're selling, let's say 100 shoes, hopefully only lose on 10 to 20 or break even on 10 to 20 and then make profit on 70 to 80.
How are you able to sell so much? What is the key here?
So, I mean, we've been doing it for over 2 years now. We've gained 200,000 followers, which is mind boggling. So, you know, the grind is real. We're growing slowly but steady.
What do you think contributed to that tremendous growth on Whatnot?
Yeah, I mean, one thing is consistency. We went from streaming twice a week, but now we're streaming 4 to 5 times a week. We're seeing bigger growth because the more you're live, the more you sell, the
People
more
talk about you.
Yeah, and the more people start following you. So our goal eventually is to stream every day.
Perfect. Do you think I can sell a sneaker on the live stream? Or is
Yeah.
that gonna hate your numbers in a negative way?
No, we're gonna get you running some shoes tonight. Guys, you guys ready? We got a special episode for you guys. It's a big YouTube channel. They are interviewing us, guys. You guys gotta check them out. UpFlip, they're in here.
What's going
Our
on?
special guest. I need shares. So we're gonna have my guy run some shoes. Are we ready? Are we ready?
Who, me?
Yeah. What do you think about these?
These are amazing.
Guys, brand new in the
pink
box.
is your favorite color. This
Yep.
is the one.
Real men wear pink, guys. Let's go.
Air Jordans, 9 US. I don't know what to say. This is my first time on
This
Whatnot.
is a 9 woman, 7.5 men. Starting at $1, you got 15 seconds. Go. Out
Let's
the door.
go. Come on, look at these shoes. Close up, right here.
Brand new, 9 women, 7.5 men, guys. These are going for over $200. 5, 4, 3, chat with $30.
Go.
Swipe. Oh my goodness, that's sold for $70.
They got
Let's go.
scale. Let's go.
There you go. Look at this, guys. This thing is crazy. A little bit of box damage. Brand new, the Tiana Taylor Jordan 1s, guys.
I gotta say, you don't wear these shoes, you make a statement. So make a statement tonight.
Let's go, guys. Go. You hear them, man. Go. 10 seconds. We're at $70, guys. There's no way. 5, 4. These are crazy rare. 3, 2. Chad, swipe that bid. Go. Oh my God. 110. That's insane.
All right, so I just got done selling a couple of shoes and whatnot. I gotta tell you guys, that is nuts and crazy. The amount of energy that you have to keep consistent is insane. That was fun. And starting bids for each shoe at only $1? You gotta be kidding me.
I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Our next stream might be tonight. If not, then tomorrow. Guys, go raid my guy, Big Hodge. Everybody spam raid, show him some love. Let's go.
Let's go.
How many pairs did we move? What does that translate to price point?
So tonight we did about 25 minutes. We did 23 pairs, which is a little bit on the slow end, but we did 1,700 in revenue for 20 minutes. Not bad.
Not bad. Did we sell anything for $1?
We didn't sell anything for $1. We got robbed on a couple. I'm not gonna lie.
Why start at $1 and why 20 seconds? Let's maybe dig into the specifics of whatnot.
So we started at $1 because it brings in more audience. Because a lot of people want to see us lose, and then a lot of people want to catch a steal. That's the biggest thing. A lot of people want to get a shoe for a really good deal.
Have you tried like starting at 10 and seeing what the results are?
Yeah, but you lose viewership.
What about 20 seconds? Why that long, longer?
I mean, sometimes we go even faster, sometimes a little longer. It just depends. But
And we had over what,
we had
times?
about 220 concurrent viewers, which is not bad.
When somebody's just starting out, when does live stream make sense? What's the right approach?
I think if you are able to buy a ton of shoes and able to sell in volume and able to take some losses, then it makes sense. I think early on when you don't have much capital, it's very hard. I think once you have a decent audience, you're able to do these auctions. You can also sell on Whatnot at set prices. And I've seen people have success at that. Just the way we do it, that we've seen the best success is volume. There's all types of ways to make money for sure. There's not just one set and cut way though.
What's been the most that you've made on a single pair of sneakers? Walk us through the numbers.
So back when I first started, around COVID times, I bought a pair called the Jordan 1 Rust Pink. It's literally a Jordan 1 that is pink and black. Retail on that pair was $2,000. I bought it, it was a lightly worn pair. I bought it for $5,000. I had it listed for, I think, $8,000. So somebody traded me like 20 pairs of shoes and I was able to flip those shoes and make another like extra 1,000. So I ended up making like 4,000 profit off that one shoe.
Wow. So you've been at this since 15 years old. You're 28 now. You've seen a lot of changes in this market. Can you highlight some of the most important ones that have impacted this industry?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, there was times where people were lining up for shoes for days. People were getting shot over shoes. It was crazy stuff happening for shoes. Where nowadays, shoes are sitting at Foot Locker. People are not wanting classic shoes. So it's a huge difference, you know, where there was this madness over shoes, and now there's this correction where, you know, shoes are much more readily available, which is good, but it's harder to make money.
So how did then you adjust to the changes in this market in terms of strategies you've implemented and so on?
So one thing that has always been core is having an honest business, never screwing nobody over, just being honest, being straightforward, always providing good service, good business. You know, we've had a really good reputation. That's what we want to keep. Another thing is being able to take losses. I think a lot of people in this game, they're so stuck on, oh, I got to make $100 a shoe, where nowadays it's almost impossible to do that. It's either you hold on to try to break even or you get rid of it.
Just move it. Yeah.
You lose money, but now you can reinvest and hopefully make more profit on that money.
So this business, it seems like it's really contingent on and tied to like a trend, like a hype, right? It goes away. You got to stay on top of it and ahead of it. And how do you do that?
Man, just following market trends. I mean, for a while, Asics were dad shoes. Now they're hot. Like people loving Asics. Asics are reselling. New Balance are reselling. Like these shoes that nobody cared about 5 years ago are now the hot ones when Jordans are kind of being left behind. Everybody's prioritizing comfort over style.
So in this crazy world, this industry, and this time, what makes you stand out from competitors that maybe didn't stick around, close shop, or maybe are still operating today?
But I think one thing that makes us different, not to pat myself on the back, but it's definitely our work ethic. You know, willing to grind harder than a lot of other places. You know, a lot of places aren't willing to take these lower margin shoes because they don't want to put in that work. And cleaning them, preparing them, selling them, packing them. It's a lot of work behind the scenes. You know, selling 300 to 500 shoes in one night, it sounds really appealing, but it's so much work. You know, packing can take 5 to 8 hours. So it's a lot of work behind the scenes that people aren't willing to do, but we are. Because, you know, we're sneaker hustle.
Ever lose faith in yourself, the business, maybe something really difficult struck you? How did you overcome it?
Yeah, so when my first year opening, I made a crucial mistake. I trusted somebody on Facebook and I already did one deal with him. Basically, he was like, hey, I need to sell my collection fast. I want $5,000 for everything. And then I jumped on it. I was like, oh, I'm gonna make so much money. I got overly excited. I didn't really think about it too well. And I sent this guy $5,000 up front and boom. Ghosted, blocked, everything. I lost $5,000. I was devastated because at that time that was so much money to me, and I was like, how do I make this work? You know, that was a huge chunk for me at that time. After that, I was like, all right, we got to just move forward. We can bounce back. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So here I am now. You know.
So out of the 300K that you have done on a monthly basis, right? How much of that is product cost and then profit margin?
So I mean, roughly 20%, so that would be like 240K cost of inventory and about 60K profit.
Pretty solid. Is that your average monthly right now?
I mean, we've been steadily growing. It wasn't always, you know, this. We started where it was like 10K, 20K, 100K. Now it's getting at that 300K range. Sometimes a little less, sometimes a little more.
That's a pretty exciting number still though.
Yeah.
Right? And that's just still the tip of the iceberg in a way, and what you can do.
I think there's still a lot of room for growth. There's still so many thousands of shoes to buy.
Just getting started. What's your total monthly expenses, the amount you need to break even?
Yeah, so not including inventory, which is the most costly part, we're about $20,000 a month just to break even, just keep the lights on.
Now, I know that number may seem intimidating to somebody who wants to get into this business, right? That's not where they need to be to get started.
Yeah, no, I mean, I started with nothing, $100, made 20 bucks, reinvested, kept flipping.
Parents' home,
Yep.
all you need sometimes.
Yeah, you could start with a couple $100, I definitely think so.
Once you do spend the 20K just to break even, on top of that, how much are you taking home? Where are you at in the business
Yeah.
as far as paying yourself?
Yeah, so I pay myself the bare minimum just to
Really?
feed myself, pay for my own rent and everything. And then I reinvest everything into the business because we're still trying to grow. We're still trying to keep scaling. You know, I have goals of expansion eventually. And, you know, to do that, I have to put everything back in the business, keep growing my team. So that's definitely, you know, what I have to do right now. And, you know, so far I really like it.
What's the percentage, would you say, between all your inventory as far as new and used?
Well, in store, I would say we're like 70% new, 30% used in store. On Whatnot, I would say it's probably like 60% used, 40% new.
Why do used shoes have a higher profit margin? Obviously, it's probably because of for what you're able to buy them for.
Yeah,
More
I
of a
mean,
price you control.
Yeah, 100%, they're cheaper. That's really it. They're cheaper cost. For example, brand new Dunks are $115 retail. So for that, brand new, we'd have to buy them for like $70. Whereas if it's used, we probably pay 20, 30 bucks and sell for hopefully 40, 50. I mean,
That makes sense.
It's just like better margins, I guess, yeah.
What's been your smartest business move so far?
So I would say definitely when I first started, I did everything by myself. I started by myself for the first like 2 years. Then when I started the store, about 6 months in, I didn't have help. I was always by myself. And the smartest decision I did was starting to grow a team. So hiring my first employee, that was the best decision I've ever made because I got to delegate, learn to delegate, and get way more done.
What are the biggest opportunities for growth and success for Sneaker Hustle, say in the coming couple years?
So I started out of a 200 square foot bedroom. Now we're at a 1,200 square foot store, and that's filled up. So next thing is expansion. The space expansion is gonna be the thing that's gonna take us to the next level. So, you know, I'm really excited. I'm hoping these next 3 to 4 months, we get the other space.
So right there, just expand into the next door. Okay,
That's the goal.
smart.
And then from there, I'm sure we're gonna fill that out pretty quick and get probably a big warehouse.
As far as numbers, give us something crazy to see if
I
we'll
mean,
follow up.
I wanna go,
years.
I wanna go from, you know, right now we're selling 1,000 shoes to eventually selling 5,000 shoes a week.
Wow. What's one of your favorite sneakers and why?
So one of my favorite sneakers are these black cement Jordan 3s. These are all-time classic. I mean, so many movies have had these in. Jordan obviously played in these. One of the best shoes to ever come out, and I'm wearing them today.
Are they just comfy? I mean,
They're relatively comfortable, but I mean, it's just the iconicness of this shoe, the history behind this. I mean,
Yeah.
this is, you know, that Nike Air on the back. Jordan wore this, and I've worn the crap out of these, but, you know, you can't match it. One of the best Jordan colorways of all time.
how do you stay motivated, focused as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, especially during, you know, challenging times? Where is the sneaker industry, by the way, too?
Yeah, so when I first started this, when I opened my shop, it was during COVID. So like the sneaker market was booming. People were paying $300 for Panda Dunks. You know, now that's a $60 shoe.
Oh, wow.
So the times have changed tremendously. A lot of shops now went out of business. A lot of resellers kind of stopped reselling. It's way more difficult, I would say. But, you know, the way I think I found motivation is just, you know, the love for the game. You know, one of our mottos is love the game, love the hustle.
How do you approach personal and professional growth? Like, what are you doing on a daily basis that contributes to your success?
Yeah, so I mean, one thing I do, I wrestled all my life, so I'm still currently training jiu-jitsu for fun and for health, and that's kind of how I stay active physically. And then mentally, the one thing I love doing is listening to podcasts, listening to businesses, entrepreneurs. I only found out about your channel very recently, but I've watched a lot of videos so far, and you know, I'll probably watch a lot more and learn about other businesses. And like, I love to just learn how other people are doing things, because no business is the same. You know, there's something that I'm doing right that I could do better because, you know, I learned it from even the hot dog video or something. So I love to learn other people's stories and always try to see how I can better myself for sure, because I still have a lot to learn.
What are some of the biggest sacrifices you've made to get to this point?
Yeah, I mean, definitely amount of hours and time I put in, like putting in 80 to 120 hours a week. It's like,
It's insane, bro.
it's your life basically, and definitely sacrificed a lot of my social life. But I mean, luckily I was able to live that when I was younger in college and stuff. So I mean, I don't really regret any of that, but you know, it's definitely challenging for those that are, you know, that want to live in the party life. Like, I don't do that anymore. You know, I'm focused on my business. So, you know, I think that's a big sacrifice for a lot of people.
If you guys want step-by-step guidance on how to start, build, and grow businesses, UpFlip Academy is your one-stop shop for everything you need to get started and scale any kind of business. Taught by business owners, not gurus. You'll also get access to a community of business people and entrepreneurs who are constantly learning and sharing what's working in real time. So scan the QR code or click the link below and check it out now. Share a time when you had to overcome a challenge and you also had to shift your mindset maybe. Maybe you were too trusting and you learned something. Give us some insight.
I think in any business, you have a lot of ups and downs, and I've been burned a ton of times, bought in fakes because I was too trusting or I didn't do the research. I've gotten scammed a few times, and I've even lost shoes in the mail somehow, like people steal sometimes from the mail. Certain things, certain business losses you're gonna have that are uncontrollable losses. That's gonna happen. But the one thing I learned is definitely, it kind of sounds bad, but you can't trust everyone. You have to double check everything. Even if someone says the shoe's new, they could be lying. Unfortunately, it's used. So checking everything and never over trusting anyone.
Is there a moment in your business and operating this business where you realize, you have to step out of your comfort zone? What were those things and how did you do that?
I mean, I realized that I have to be kind of the face of my brand. And at first I just wanted to show the shoes. I just wanted to sell the shoes. But I realized people like connecting a face to the brand. And I think, that helps them connect with you too. And also gives brand recognition. I trust this guy. And I think it's really important.
So stepping in front of the camera and doing this on a daily basis, that was the uncomfortable thing.
It was uncomfortable at first, and I'm still getting used to it every day, but I think the more you do it, the better you get.
Yeah, you're pretty darn good at it.
Thank you.
All right, now that you have a successful business, what are some things that you want to learn the most in life about?
Yeah, well, I mean, I definitely want to keep growing the business, but the one thing, you always hear about is entrepreneurs trying to find that work-life balance, which they say kind of doesn't exist. But I've always tried to find it. I'm trying to learn how to balance my life more, the regular life, social life, and then the business life.
What's really helping you figure that out? Is it a tool? Is it a person, a coach?
Honestly, it's my team. Without my team, I would have failed, I think. And, finding the right people from my team has really helped me just keep things together, trying to take some time off sometimes, even keep me motivated.
If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to check out episode 155, where Tia Hall breaks down how she built a $4.2 million a year sneaker resale empire, starting with just $50. Like and subscribe, and we hope to see you next time.